Good morning, good morning, good morning. Coming to you live from the closet for some more closet talk from Thoughtfire. So, I am so excited to be here with you this morning. I just love the things that are coming up for me, for our family, for the people on the Facebook and the Instagram who are taking the time to watch the things we're learning. I am just so grateful for the time that I'm having with all of you as we go about, just learn some tools that are going to help us show up for ourselves and help elevate our lives to be in a better space. And that's my goal, is to show up for myself and also for you to show up for you, because I believe in the power of showing up. So really quick, yesterday's topic about boundaries was a little lengthy. I apologize for that, but I don't know how to shorten. That is such a key element in trust and in so many things. Boundaries are powerful, and I could do a whole segment on boundaries. So a couple other fun little things. Abby came in and drew, well, she said hi from grandma's here. Got some little, apparently my board wasn't fancy enough, so hello from Abby. Also wanted to say Brene Brown's metaphor, so to speak, for trust is the marble jar. It is the same metaphor that Stephen Covey uses with the emotional bank account. I've heard the metaphor of drops in a bucket, like water drops in a bucket to build. So all the metaphors are the same. It's just the concept is the same. It's just using different ideas. So I'm not perfect at what I'm teaching. I have plenty of work. Teaching it helps me become more familiar and more aware of how I can become better. So I just wanted to say that I am not saying I'm perfect at it. Just know that. So the second thing we're going to talk about today in building trust in ourselves, like we talked about, ourselves and others, is dependability. Dependability is an outward expression to ourselves and to others that we are trustworthy. Each action is going to solidify that trust and build it, or it's going to take away from it. So let me teach you another key principle. Now, we all are adults, or maybe there are some not adults, but for the most part, most of us are adults. And inside of us, we have our experience up until how old you are. And our bodies have a way of keeping track of our track record. And that can be a really good thing, and that can be a really hard thing sometimes. So, dependability. I want you to think about this concept. As an adult, I am 37 years old. Inside of me, I know I have many memories and many examples of me not doing something I promised myself I'd do. And anybody who has done any inner child work knows that there's a little girl inside of me that knows that and remembers that. So, for example, I recently have taken on the challenge of waking up every day at 5 o'clock. It's something that Mel Robbins talks about. It's a powerful tool to get us on track for what we want to do in life, and that's kind of how I came up with the videos. But my little girl inside of me, from a very, 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 very young age, has told me, 1, you're not a morning person. 2, you hate getting up in the morning. And 3, it ain't gonna happen. So, I also wake up in the morning and go to the gym. This is something that Jenny and I have done together religiously, probably in the past 3 years. And so getting up and going to the gym at first was my little girl's like, first of all, you don't get up, and second of all, you definitely don't exercise in the morning. People don't even like to talk to you in the morning. Or I don't even like to talk to people. That's probably more accurate. So, I had to teach my little girl inside of myself that I was going to get up. That was not a one-time shot. In fact, it took time and time again. And there are habits and there are patterns that we can look at to see what our little girl or boy inside of us has programmed and how it affects us today. So I'm going to tell you this right now. Some of the things that help with this process is reassurance. And there's proof in the pudding, right? Proof. So 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was, I woke up and I said, I'm going to start exercising every morning and I'm going to get up early. And my little girl's like, the hell you are? You really think you're going to get up and do this? And the next day I got up and I said, hey, I am going to get up and I'm going to go to the gym. And I'm going to get up early. And my little girl's like, well, you did it yesterday. We'll see how this goes. Years and years. Now my little girl knows that I'm going to get up and go to the gym. And there's this trust built within us. Now, I don't want to say that your little person inside of you, I don't mean little person, but like the child within you, is a negative Nelly. Because I am just using that as an example. There's so much programming that happens when we are growing up that it could be a positive thing. It could be like, hey, I am going to write this paper. Well, you know what? You've always been great at writing, so let's do it. Or it could be that habit that we're looking to break. Or like, I don't want to drink today. Well, you've drank every other day, so why would today be different? 1 day down, 2 day down. So we have to build this reassurance within ourselves that we're going to do what we say we're going to do. Promises to ourselves. Now, let me say a caveat on this. Life is not perfect. I wish I could say, no, I don't. So within the past 3 years, there have been days that I have not got up and gone and exercised. Does that make it so my little girl inside of me loses all trust again? No. We go back to the metaphor of the marble jar. We are building trust by reassuring, by doing, so that if I miss one day, I may take one out, but there's enough proof and enough built in there that she knows that it is just one day. There is no absolutes. Absolutes are dangerous, and we talked about that yesterday. So be careful with absolutes. But also know the difference between an excuse and life. There is a very clear difference. And again, we could talk more about that later. So, what happens when your little girl shows up and says, you are not going to do that? Well, out loud, you're going to say, I'm sorry I didn't show up for you in the past. And I am sorry that I wasn't able to show that dependability to you and myself. But I am an adult now, and I can make better choices because life happens one choice at a time. Today, I'm going to show up for you. And in the future, I am going to show up. And I'm going to show you that I can trust me and that I am dependable. I'm showing up for me. Having those conversations out loud. Having those conversations. You may have to go into the bathroom. You may have to write it down. Hey, little girl, at 6 years old when I didn't show up and I told myself I was going to study for a test and I failed. I didn't show up then, and I'm so sorry. But you know what? Today, I'm going in to take the ACT, or I'm going in to ask for a raise, and I'm going to show up, and I'm going to be present, and I'm going to prepare for it and be ready. And this little girl is going to learn to depend on this one, to build trust in your adult self, and therefore trust increases. This is key to this. Just a reminder about that. Quickly, next, others, self-explanatory. Do what you say you're going to do. I tell my guys at work all the time, you're only your word. So if you say you're going to do something, do it. So do it. If you have an appointment, show up to the appointment. Be on time. That is calling the kettle black for me. I will show up at any given moment. And Janelle, I know you're laughing right now. I just may be a little bit late. So again, I ain't perfect. I'm not perfect, and I'll just own that one right there. So third thing is in relationships. Those people that you love and are close to, the level of trust is built by being dependable. Showing up, telling your kids, today we're going to go to the batting cages. There's one time when Noah and I, on a Tuesday night, went to the batting cages. I was so tired, but I had promised him that was going to happen. When those moments happen, you build trust with each other. So until those moments happen, trust isn't built. And when there are those moments when life happens, not excuses, but life happens, there's enough built into the emotional bank account, as Covey would say, or in the marble jar, that it's okay. Tools for today. One thing I want you to think about. As you're going throughout the day, we make promises to ourselves all the time. Me, I'm going to eat breakfast. That's my first promise of the day. My little girl says, you know what, Crystal? You have been saying you're going to eat your breakfast every morning. Well, I've done it long enough that she knows that it's going to happen. What promises are you making yourself? Be aware of it. Write them down. Write down your promises to yourself. Write down your promises to other people. Write down where you feel like you have room to improve, if it is with others or with yourself. Do you show? So, after you write them down, spend some time with them. See where your little self, I hate that, not little self, the little person in you, I don't like that either. Anyway, inner child inside of you needs some deposits made so that you can be dependable to yourself and therefore show up for others. So remember, I believe in showing up. I believe in showing up for me. I believe you showing up for you is going to elevate your life to a better space. So having 29 years of experience of not showing up, I've had the opportunity to do some work, and today trust segment 2 is on dependability. Hope you guys have a great day and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care.